Hey there, DigiCoin Daily fam. It's your favorite crypto enthusiast here, and today we're diving into an exciting topic: Bitcoin dominance, altcoins, and the potential for a massive alt season. So grab your favorite snack, sit back, and let's ride this crypto wave together. First things first, let's talk about our crypto guru, Benjamin Cohen. He's a quant analyst and has some intriguing views on the crypto market, especially when it comes to Bitcoin dominance. Ben believes that for us to witness an epic altcoin season like we did in 2017 and 2021, Bitcoin dominance must first rise, potentially hitting around 65%. But wait, there's more. Ben suggests that even when Bitcoin corrects, its dominance will keep rising, signaling a healing crypto market. Sounds interesting, right?
That we are still well within what I've called the altcoin reckoning since basically the beginning of 2022. And the way that you get to the end of the altcoin reckoning is you need to see the Bitcoin dominance explode higher. Okay, so we've seen Bitcoin go up quite a bit recently, but I think a lot of the reason it's gone up isn't because we're, one of the narratives is of hyperinflation, right? It's not because of that. We're actually more likely to see rapid disinflation via recession than I think we are to see hyperinflation. I think what's really sending the Bitcoin price higher, one of the reasons is the constant devaluation of altcoins on their Bitcoin pairs. And what I'm watching very closely is this move here compared to what happened over here in mid 2018. You'll notice the dominance rally started at around the same level, at around that 39% level, and that's where it started this time as well. But here's the interesting thing about this dominance rally. If you look at the dominance rally, you might assume that the price of Bitcoin only went up or down during that time. But in reality, during that dominance rally, the price spent half the time of that rally going up and then the other half of it going down. And the reason why that's important, if we look at this right here, the reason why that's important is because it tells you if it's essentially broken the back of the altcoin market. Okay, so looking at this rally here in 2018, you can see that the dominance of Bitcoin went up to about 50% on the rally of Bitcoin USD. So it hit 50%. Once it hits 50%, I think the implication is that essentially the entire altcoin market has lost their support levels on their Bitcoin pairs. And then when Bitcoin corrects, which is eventually going to happen, it never seems like it's going to when it's going up, right? But eventually whenever Bitcoin corrects, the altcoin market on their Bitcoin pairs don't really have anywhere to hide anymore. And that's essentially the issue. If you look at this rally back over here that took Bitcoin dominance to 50%, you'll notice that it took out this prior high on the Bitcoin dominance. Now, if you look at it where it is today, these prior highs were about at 49% or so. So my hope is that this move is strong enough to get the dominance above that 50% level so that whenever Bitcoin corrects, the altcoin market continues its bleed back to Bitcoin. And if that happens, then the move to 60% dominance, as crazy as that sounds, right? As crazy as it sounds, but the move to 60% dominance can actually happen quite quickly. I've been under the assumption for a long time that the altcoin market is just simply not worth the risk with respect to Bitcoin. So the point is, if you're putting $1 into the cryptoverse, you have to put it somewhere. And if Bitcoin is likely going to outperform the altcoin market as a whole, then what's the point in not just putting it into Bitcoin if you're going to put it somewhere? And I think that's what we've seen play out time and time again, is that the altcoin market just continually gets devalued on their Bitcoin pairs throughout this phase. Another way to view this is to look at the dominance excluding the stablecoin market. Because I think some people have kind of used this chart to say that altcoins have been holding up well, but the reality is if you look at this excluding stablecoins, can you see this chart here?
Yeah.
Yeah. you can see that it's actually, the dominance is already at 52.5%, excluding stablecoins. So the dominance is already making that move quite a bit higher. It doesn't even need to go that much higher to take out the high from June of 2022. And so when you look at something like the altcoin season index indicator, which kind of tells you if we're really in Bitcoin season or altcoin season, this is based on the last 90 days. And if you take a 30-day estimate of it, I'm under the impression that, you know, every year and a half, 2.5 years, we need to come to this deep value on Bitcoin season where the metric comes to down around 5 or so. So it did it in September 2018. It did it in December of 2020. So this one was, you know, this one was not bullish, right? It was more bearish. This one was bullish because Bitcoin was just going up like crazy. But I think that we need to see the dominance or the altcoin season index come back down into that like 5 level or so before we can truly get to the end of the altcoin reckoning, which is the altcoins being devalued on their Bitcoin pairs. Something that's very interesting is if you look at the move we had last year in 2022 of the altcoin season index indicator, you can see we kind of had like a double bottom here where we went into Bitcoin season a little bit, but we only got like a taste of it, right? It only occurred, it lasted for a couple of months, and then we had the Ethereum merge and everything took back off again, right? But what's interesting is that this move looks very similar to what we had in 2019, right? Where you had sort of like a double bottom on the altcoin season index indicator. So I think there's a lot of people that are going to make the assumption that whenever Bitcoin's rally is over, that the altcoin market will then explode higher. That's the general assumption. But I would say that the much more likely outcome is that the dominance will continue to go higher even when Bitcoin corrects back down. And that ultimately would show you that the cryptoverse is healing and is getting back to a point where altcoins might actually be worth the risk again after the finalization of that altcoin reckoning, after Bitcoin has truly taken back the market cap, the market cap percentage that it really should be at, I think, especially at this phase of the market cycle.
Now let's talk Ethereum. Ben thinks that Ethereum's moment to flex against Bitcoin won't happen this year, and we might have to wait until 2025 to see it shine. But don't worry, Ethereum lovers, patience is a virtue. So, which altcoins should we keep an eye on? Ben's got some wise advice for us. Instead of giving us specific coins to watch, he encourages us to stay flexible and open-minded. We should be on the lookout for new projects that haven't even hit the market yet, or those that have survived downturns and continue to grow.
Yeah, so I don't necessarily think that we're going to get to 70. One of the things that you look at on here is that you see lower highs. This is excluding stablecoins. You see lower highs, but you also see higher lows, right? I mean, think about all the VC money that came in this past, the past 2 years. Think about all the hype, all the NFTs. The dominance still was higher, or the dominance still went lower in 2018 than it ever did during this past cycle, right? So you see lower highs, but you also see higher lows. If you extend this time frame out a few years, this will actually converge in about 2026. So I guess 2026 might be the time we get to figure out, will Bitcoin dominance go back up, or will it come back? Will it come back down? And to actually give you a more, maybe a closer look at what my expectation is for the Bitcoin dominance, because I think some people might assume that I only ever think it's going to go up, but I would say that a likely path for it, could be something like this, where it comes back up maybe to 55%, 60%, and then bleeds back down for a bit, and then comes back up for, say, like a double top or something, maybe similar to over here. And then it's at this point that you can actually get these major alt seasons, right? This is the alt season that everyone dreams of, that we had in 2017, we had in 2021. But in order to see an alt season, similar to what we saw back over here, similar to what we saw back over here, we first, I think, need to see the dominance get back up to a level, because once the dominance is at that level, then there's so much of that money can flow into the altcoin market and speculation in the altcoin market. So I think the main difference between 2021 and right now is that back then the dominance was much higher and it had a cliff to jump off of. I don't really think it has that same cliff today. I think it needs to go higher first. So you're right. I mean, the dominance is not going to go higher forever. I think that you will likely see it not go as high. So for instance, the highest that it went last cycle, excluding stablecoins, was 74%. I think the highest excluding stablecoins this time you'll see it go might be closer to around 65%, which isn't even that much higher. I mean, we're already at 52%, so you're just talking, 13% higher. That seems perfectly reasonable. And part of that could be accomplished, again, as we've learned recently and as we've known, right? I mean, it can occur when Bitcoin goes up, not because Bitcoin goes down. But I think that's the important implication of the dominance, is that it really does show you the flow of the cycle.
One more thing before we wrap up. Ben's analysis reveals that Bitcoin dominance might show some fascinating patterns, with higher lows and lower highs possibly converging in 2026. This could hint at a turning point in the crypto market that you and I will definitely want to keep tabs on. And there you have it, DigiCoin Daily crew. Some exciting food for thought from our man Benjamin Cohen. So, what do you think? Are you ready for the next alt season? Which new projects are you most excited about? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, hit that like button and subscribe for more crypto insights from your favorite channel. DigiCoin Daily, until next time, stay crypto cool.